We all face challenges and setbacks, but what truly matters is how we respond. Are you ready to make that change, break free from old patterns, and start building the life you've always wanted? In this video, I'll show you how to transform your mindset, take consistent action, and rebuild yourself from the ground up. You'll learn exactly what steps to take every day to move closer to your goals, overcome obstacles, and create lasting success. This is not just about wishful thinking. It's about practical, everyday actions that can change the direction of your life. Stick with me through this video because what you'll discover will give you the tools to make real progress no matter where you're starting from. Let's dive in and start building the success you deserve. Number 1, the power of future goals. Every great journey begins with a single question. Where are you going when you think about your life, your dreams, and your purpose? Have you ever stopped to ask yourself if you've defined a clear destination? Because the truth is, without a vision of where you want to go, it's far too easy to get lost along the way. The power of future goals isn't just about dreaming big, it's about giving yourself a map, a direction, and a reason to wake up every day ready to take on the world. Let's talk about why having goals matters. First, think about this: life is always moving. Time doesn't wait for anyone. Every second, every day, we're headed somewhere, whether we realize it or not. The question is, are you heading where you want to go, or are you just letting the current carry you? Goals put you in control. They help you stop drifting and start navigating. Now, here's the thing about goals: they don't have to be massive right away. You don't need to know every step of the way, but you do need a vision of the destination. Imagine you're planning a trip. You don't just say, "I'm going somewhere." No, you decide, "I'm going to this city, this country." At this time, that level of clarity is what goals give you in life. The beauty of setting future goals is that it gives your life meaning. It takes the ordinary and makes it extraordinary, because now you're not just working a job, managing your responsibilities, or getting through the day. You're building something. You're creating a future that's worth looking forward to. Let's make this personal. Close your eyes for a moment and think about what truly matters to you. What kind of life do you want to live? What are the things that excite you, that light a fire inside you? Maybe it's building a career you're proud of, traveling to places you've always dreamed of, or creating a life where you have the freedom to spend time with the people you love. Whatever it is, hold on to that image, because that's your future. Once you've got that vision, the next step is to write it down. Don't underestimate the power of putting your thoughts on paper. Writing down your goals takes them out of your head and makes them real. It's like saying to yourself, "This matters to me and I'm serious about making it happen," and be specific. Don't just say, "I want to be successful." What does success look like for you? Does it mean starting your own business, reaching a certain income level, or having a healthy work-life balance? The more precise you are, the better. But let's not stop there. Setting goals is only the beginning. The real magic happens when you start taking action. And here's the best part: you don't need to do it all at once. You don't need to climb the mountain in a single day. What you need is to take that first step, then the next and the next. Progress, no matter how small, adds up over time. There's something else that's important to remember. Goals are not just about achieving something, they're about becoming someone. The process of working toward your goals changes you. It makes you stronger, more disciplined, more focused. Each step forward builds your confidence and your ability to handle challenges. And yes, challenges will come. Life has a way of testing your resolve, of asking, "How badly do you want this?" But that's why having clear goals is so powerful. When you know what you're working toward, it's easier to stay motivated. You'll remind yourself, "This is why I'm putting in the effort. This is why I'm making sacrifices." Let me also share something I've learned over the years. Goals are not set in stone. They can evolve as you grow and as life changes. Maybe you start out wanting one thing, but along the way you realize your priorities have shifted. That's okay. The important thing is to always have a direction. something that inspires you to keep moving forward. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but what if I fail? What if I set a goal and don't reach it? Let me tell you something, failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of the process. Every successful person you admire has faced setbacks. They've made mistakes, but they didn't let that stop them. They learned, adjusted, and kept going. Here's what I want you to take away from this. Your future is not something that happens to you, it's something you create. It's shaped by the decisions you make and the actions you take every single day. So take control. Decide what you want and go after it with everything you've got. And one last thing, don't wait for the perfect moment to start. There is no perfect moment. The best time to begin is now. Right here, right now, take that first step toward the life you've always wanted. Your future self will thank you. Number 2, assess where you are right now. Take a moment and think about your life as it is today. What are you doing? What are you accomplishing? Are you happy with where you're at? This isn't about judgment, it's about honesty. If you want to make real progress, you need to start with a clear picture of your current situation. You can't fix what you won't face. Assessing where you are right now is one of the most important steps in personal growth. Why? Because when you truly see things as they are, not worse than they are, not better than they are, but exactly as they are, you empower yourself to make real change. It's like using a map. If you're lost, the first thing you do is figure out your location so you can plan your next move. Let's break it down. Start by looking at the major areas of your life, your career, your relationships, your health, your mindset, your finances, whatever matters most to you. Ask yourself some straightforward questions. Where are you excelling? Where are you struggling? What's working and what's not? Be brutally honest with yourself. Sugarcoating won't help you here. Take your career, for example. Are you where you want to be? Are you in a role that challenges you and excites you? Or do you feel stuck going through the motions without any real purpose? If it's the latter, don't ignore that feeling. It's telling you something needs to change. What about your relationships? Are you surrounded by people who uplift you, challenge you, and support your growth? Or are you holding on to connections that drain you or keep you stuck in old patterns? This is tough to confront, but it's necessary. Who you spend time with has a massive impact on who you become. Now let's talk about your health. Are you taking care of your body? Are you eating well, staying active, and getting enough rest? Or are you neglecting the basics because you're too busy or too stressed? Remember, your body is the vehicle that carries you through life. If it breaks down, everything else suffers. And then there's your mindset. How do you feel about yourself and your potential? Are you confident, focused, and optimistic? Or do you find yourself stuck in negative thinking, self-doubt, or fear of failure? The way you think determines the way you act, and the way you act determines the results you get. Take the time to write all this down. Grab a notebook and document where you are in each area of your life. This isn't just an exercise, it's a reality check. When you see your thoughts on paper, it becomes easier to spot patterns. Identify what's holding you back and start thinking about solutions. And let's not forget about your habits. Your daily routines are a reflection of who you are and where you're headed. Are your habits moving you closer to your goals or pulling you further away? If you're not sure, track your time for a week. Look at how you're spending your days. Are you investing in activities that build you up? Or are you wasting time on distractions and procrastination? This step of assessing where you are isn't about beating yourself up or focusing on what's wrong. It's about gaining clarity. It's about understanding the truth so you can take control of your future. Because here's the good news, wherever you are right now, it's not permanent. You have the power to change your circumstances starting today. Once you've taken a good look at your current situation, ask yourself, what's my biggest obstacle? Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's a lack of direction. Or maybe it's simply not having enough time. Whatever it is, write it down. Name it. When you name the problem, it loses some of its power over you. But don't stop at the obstacles. Also ask yourself, what's my greatest strength? What's the one thing you're really good at? The thing that sets you apart. Too often, we focus only on what we lack and forget about what we have to offer. Your strengths are your tools for overcoming challenges. This process is deeply personal, and it takes courage. It's not always easy to face the reality of where you are, especially if it feels far from where you want to be. But remember, the goal isn't to stay stuck in this moment. The goal is to use this moment as a launching pad for what comes next. As you assess your life, keep this in mind. This isn't a one-time thing. Life is always changing, and so are you. Make it a habit to check in with yourself regularly. Ask yourself, am I still on track? Are my actions aligning with my goals? Am I growing, or have I fallen into old patterns? This kind of self-reflection keeps you focused and helps you adjust course when needed. So here's your challenge. Take some quiet time today, even just 15 or 20 minutes, to sit down with yourself and really think about where you are. Be honest, be thorough, and be kind to yourself. You're not doing this to judge or criticize, you're doing this to grow. And when you know where you stand, you'll be ready to take the next step toward where you want to go. Number 3, let go of what's holding you back. How much of your energy is tied up in things that no longer serve you? Maybe it's regrets, mistakes, old habits, toxic relationships, or even beliefs about yourself that you've carried for far too long. If you want to rebuild yourself for success, the first step is to free yourself from what's holding you back. Let's get real here. This isn't about erasing the past or pretending it didn't happen. Everything you've been through has shaped you. It's taught you lessons, given you strength, and brought you to this moment. But holding on to the pain, the guilt, or the fear from yesterday doesn't help you build a better tomorrow. Instead, it keeps you stuck in a cycle that's hard to break. Start by identifying what's weighing you down. Take a moment to think about it. What's that one thing, maybe it's more than one, that keeps replaying in your mind, keeping you from stepping into the life you want? It could be a failed relationship, a career mistake, a time when you let yourself down, or even the words of someone who doubted you. Be honest with yourself and write it down if you need to. Naming it gives you clarity and helps you confront it head on. Now, once you've identified it, the question becomes, why am I holding on to this often? It's because it feels safe. We get comfortable in our pain because at least it's familiar. Letting go means stepping into the unknown, and that can feel scary. But staying stuck is far scarier when you realize it's costing you your future. Here's where the hard but necessary work comes in. Letting go isn't a switch you flip, it's a process. Start by forgiving yourself. Whatever mistakes you've made, whatever opportunities you missed, you have to make peace with it. You're human. You're allowed to mess up. What matters is what you do next. Forgiveness isn't just for yourself, it's also for others. If someone hurt you, betrayed you, or held you back, carrying that resentment doesn't hurt them, it hurts you. Letting go of anger or bitterness doesn't mean you're saying what they did was okay. It means you're choosing not to let it control you anymore. Think about habits too. Are there routines or behaviors that you know aren't serving you? Maybe it's procrastination, self-doubt, or the way you compare yourself to others. These habits didn't appear overnight, and they won't disappear overnight either, but recognizing them is the first step. Decide today that you're going to replace those habits with ones that empower you, even if it's just a little bit each day. And let's talk about people. Sometimes the hardest thing to let go of is relationships. If there are people in your life who drain your energy, who don't believe in your potential, or who keep pulling you back into old patterns, you need to create distance. This doesn't mean cutting everyone off. It means protecting your space and surrounding yourself with those who inspire and uplift you. When you start letting go, something amazing happens. You make room. You make room for new opportunities, new relationships, and new growth. You can't fill your life with the things you want if it's already packed with things you don't need. Now, this isn't easy. There will be moments when the past tries to creep back in. You'll feel tempted to dwell on it, to let it pull you down again. But every time that happens, remind yourself why you're doing this. You're letting go so you can rebuild. You're letting go because you deserve a life that's not defined by your mistakes or your pain, but by your dreams and your potential. Visualize what it looks like to truly let go. Imagine the weight you've been carrying lifting off your shoulders. Imagine waking up in the morning without that nagging regret or fear holding you back. Imagine how much lighter, freer, and more capable you'll feel when you're not tied to the things that no longer serve you. One of the best ways to reinforce this process is to focus on gratitude. Shift your attention to the things you're thankful for right now. Gratitude has a way of grounding us and reminding us that even though we've struggled, we've also overcome. It helps you see the good in your life and gives you strength to keep moving forward. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. Talk to someone you trust, a friend, a mentor, or even a professional. Sharing what you're letting go of can make the process feel less overwhelming and remind you that you're supported. Every day is an opportunity to release something that's holding you back. It doesn't have to be all at once. Maybe today you forgive yourself for one mistake. Maybe tomorrow you take a small step toward breaking a habit. Bit by bit, you'll start to feel the change. Letting go is one of the most empowering things you can do for yourself. It's a decision to stop being defined by your past and start shaping your future. So today, make that choice. Choose freedom. Choose growth. Choose to let go of what's holding you back and step into the person you're meant to be. You've got this. Number 4, create a clear vision of success. Success doesn't happen by accident. It begins with a clear picture of what you truly want. Take a moment to think about where you're headed. Can you see it? Can you describe it in detail? If not, it's time to sit down and define what success means to you. Without a clear vision, it's like trying to build a house without a blueprint. You might start piling bricks, but you'll never end up with something stable, let alone something worth living in. Creating a vision isn't just about dreaming. It's about getting specific. What does your ideal life look like? Not just the big things like your dream career or financial goals, but the smaller day-to-day details. What do your mornings feel like? Who are you spending your time with? What kind of impact are you making on the world around you? Grab a notebook and start writing it down. Don't overthink it, and don't judge yourself. This is your vision, not anyone else's. It doesn't have to look like someone else's idea of success. Maybe your dream is to lead a team of professionals in a field you're passionate about. Or maybe it's about spending more time with your family while running a business you love. Whatever it is, make it yours. Once you have that vision in front of you, the next step is to ask yourself why it matters. Why do you want this? What will it bring into your life? And don't stop at surface level answers like to make more money or to be recognized. Go deeper. What's the real reason? Maybe it's about freedom to make your own choices, to spend your time how you want, or to create a life that aligns with your values. Knowing your why will keep you motivated when things get tough. Now, let's talk about making that vision real. A vision without action is just a wish. So how do you break it down into steps? Start by identifying where you are right now. Be honest with yourself. What skills do you need to develop? What habits need to change? Who can help you along the way? Create a plan, but keep it flexible. Life is unpredictable, and your path might twist and turn. That's okay. The vision is your guiding star, but the route to get there might change. And that's not failure, it's growth. One of the most powerful tools you can use here is visualization. Take a few minutes every day to close your eyes and picture yourself living that vision. Not just the way it looks, but how it feels. Feel the excitement, the confidence, the joy. Visualization isn't just wishful thinking, it's training your mind to focus on where you're going. It's also important to surround yourself with reminders of your vision. Create a vision board. Write your goals somewhere you'll see them every day, or set daily reminders on your phone. Keep your vision front and center so it becomes part of your daily life, not just something you think about once in a while. But here's the thing, a vision of success isn't a one-time creation. It's something you revisit and refine as you grow. As you achieve milestones, your vision might expand, or you might discover new directions you want to take. That's the beauty of it. It evolves with you. Don't let fear hold you back from dreaming big. Sometimes people hesitate to create a vision because they're afraid of failing or because their goals feel too far out of reach. But here's the truth, it's better to aim high and grow into your vision than to stay small and never reach for more. And let's address the naysayers, the people who might not understand your vision or who tell you it's unrealistic. Their doubts aren't about you, they're about their own fears and limitations. Don't let their opinions hold you back. Your vision is yours to pursue, not theirs to approve. Keep in mind that success is a journey, not a destination. Your vision is the starting point, but the real growth happens along the way. It's in the challenges you overcome, the lessons you learn, and the person you become. So don't rush the process. Enjoy it, even the tough parts, because they're shaping you into someone capable of living that vision. And remember, you're not alone in this. Share your vision with people who believe in you. Find mentors, friends, or a community that supports your growth. They can offer guidance, encouragement, and accountability when you need it most. So today, take that first step. Sit down, create your vision, and commit to it. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to be complete. Just start. Because the moment you decide to define your vision of success, you're already rebuilding yourself for a future you're excited about. And that's a powerful thing. Number 5, take small steps daily. Most people get overwhelmed because they focus too much on the end result. They look at the big picture, see how far away they are from their goals, and they freeze. But the truth is, success isn't about getting there in one day, it's about making progress one small step at a time. Let's say you have a big goal, like starting a business, getting in shape, or learning a new skill. It can feel massive, right? Like you're standing at the bottom of a mountain, staring up at the peak, thinking, how am I ever going to get there? But here's what you need to remember. You don't climb a mountain by jumping to the top. You climb it by taking one step, then another, and then another. Start by breaking your goal down into smaller, manageable pieces. What's one small thing you can do today that moves you closer to your goal? Maybe it's reading for 10 minutes, sending one email, or doing just 5 minutes of exercise. It doesn't have to be huge. In fact, it shouldn't be. Small, consistent actions are what build momentum. Here's the best part. Those small steps add up. When you do something consistently, even if it seems tiny, it creates a ripple effect. One good decision leads to another. One small win builds your confidence. And before you know it, you've made progress you didn't think was possible. But let me be real with you, this isn't always easy. Some days you're going to feel unmotivated. You're going to question whether those small steps are even making a difference. On those days, remind yourself of this: progress is progress, no matter how slow. Even if you only move an inch, you're still moving forward. Another thing to keep in mind is that not every step will feel perfect. You might stumble, make mistakes, or feel like you're not doing enough. That's okay. What matters is that you keep showing up. Success isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. One trick that helps is to track your progress. Write down what you do each day, no matter how small it seems. At the end of the week, look back at everything you've accomplished. You'll be amazed at how those small steps start to add up. Now let's talk about commitment. When you decide to take small steps daily, you're making a promise to yourself. And keeping that promise is powerful. It builds trust in yourself, which is essential for success. Every time you follow through, you're proving to yourself that you can do this, that you're capable of sticking with it. There's another important point here. Don't compare your progress to anyone else's. Your journey is your own. Some people might seem like they're moving faster, but you don't know the full story. Focus on your own steps, your own growth. And remember, celebrate those small wins. Did you send that email? Celebrate it. Did you go for a short walk? Celebrate it. Every step deserves recognition because every step brings you closer to your goal. Here's a practical example. Let's say your goal is to get healthier. Instead of trying to overhaul your entire lifestyle overnight, start small. Drink 1 extra glass of water today. Add 1 vegetable to your meal. Go for a 10-minute walk. These might seem insignificant, but they're not. They're the foundation of bigger changes. Or maybe you want to improve your career. Start by spending just 15 minutes a day learning something new or networking with someone in your industry. Over time, those 15 minutes add up to hours, and those hours lead to opportunities. It's also important to adjust your mindset. Instead of thinking I have to do this, start thinking I get to do this. Each step is an opportunity, not a chore. It's a chance to grow, to move closer to the life you want. Finally, be patient with yourself. Change doesn't happen overnight. Building a successful life takes time, effort, and consistency. Trust the process and don't rush it. So here's the takeaway. Focus on what you can do today. Not tomorrow, not next week, but today. What's one small step you can take right now? It doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to be big. It just has to move you forward. Every step you take is a vote for the person you're becoming. So take that step, and then take another. Because when you commit to small steps every day, you're not just working toward your goals, you're rebuilding yourself into someone who achieves them. That's how success happens, 1 step at a time. Number 6, develop a winning mindset. How often do we let doubts, fears, or old habits dictate what we believe we can achieve? Developing a winning mindset isn't about being perfect, and it's not about ignoring challenges. It's about creating a mental environment that helps you grow, even when things get tough. The first step in building that mindset is belief in yourself, your abilities, and your potential. Now, I know that's easier said than done. Maybe you've had failures in the past, or you've been told you're not good enough. Those thoughts can stick around and make you question yourself. But let me tell you something, your past does not define your future. What you've done or haven't done doesn't have to limit what you're capable of. You have to consciously choose to believe in yourself. And it's a choice you make every day. Start small. Remind yourself of your strengths even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Think about times when you succeeded, even in small ways. Build on those moments and use them as proof that you can achieve more. Another key part of a winning mindset is focusing on growth instead of perfection. A lot of people get stuck because they think they have to get everything right the first time. But here's the truth. Nobody gets it right all the time. The most successful people are the ones who learn, adapt, and keep going. So instead of aiming for perfection, aim for progress. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I get just a little bit better today? And let's talk about resilience. Life is going to throw challenges your way, that's just the reality. But a winning mindset isn't about avoiding challenges, it's about facing them head on. It's about deciding that no matter what happens, you're going to keep moving forward. Every time you overcome an obstacle, you're proving to yourself that you're stronger than you think. Now, I want to address something that holds a lot of people back, negative self-talk. How often do you catch yourself thinking, I can't do this or I'm not smart enough? Those thoughts can become a loop that keeps you stuck. But here's the thing, you don't have to believe everything you think. When those negative thoughts come up, challenge them. Replace them with something more constructive, like this is hard, but I'm learning, or I may not know everything yet, but I can figure it out. A winning mindset also means surrounding yourself with positivity. Pay attention to the people you spend time with, the content you consume, and the environments you're in. Are they lifting you up, or are they holding you back? It's hard to stay motivated if you're constantly around negativity. Seek out people and situations that inspire you and encourage your growth. Another aspect of mindset is gratitude. It might seem simple, but taking time to appreciate what you have can completely shift your perspective. When you're focused on what's going well, it's easier to stay motivated and keep pushing forward. Gratitude isn't just about being thankful for the big things. It's about noticing the small wins and everyday joys. Let's talk about vision for a moment. A winning mindset is future-focused. It's about keeping your eyes on the bigger picture while still handling today's challenges. What does success look like to you? Picture it clearly. How does it feel? What does your life look like when you've achieved your goals? Hold on to that vision and let it guide your decisions and actions. It's also important to develop self-discipline. A winning mindset doesn't just show up when things are easy, it sticks around when things get hard. Discipline is what helps you keep going, even when you don't feel like it. And here's the thing, discipline isn't about being harsh on yourself. It's about committing to what you know is best for you, even if it's uncomfortable in the moment. One thing that's helped me personally is creating daily habits that support a strong mindset. These don't have to be complicated. It could be starting your day with a few minutes of reading or journaling, setting clear goals for the day, or taking time to reflect on what you've learned. The key is consistency. Those small positive habits add up over time and make a big difference. Now let me leave you with this. A winning mindset isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. And like anything worth building, it takes time, effort, and patience. There will be days when it feels hard, when you wonder if it's even worth it. On those days, remind yourself why you started. Think about the life you're creating, the person you're becoming. You have what it takes to succeed, but it starts in your mind. Believe in yourself. Focus on growth. Stay resilient. Surround yourself with positivity. Keep your vision clear. And most importantly, never stop showing up for yourself. Number 7, build a supportive network. Success is never a journey you take alone. If you want to reach your full potential, you need to surround yourself with people who can help you grow. Building a supportive network is one of the most important steps you can take in your personal and professional development. You cannot do everything on your own, no matter how talented or driven you are. The people around you will shape your progress in the direction of your life. First, let me be clear, building a supportive network is not just about gathering a group of people who agree with everything you say. It's not about surrounding yourself with people who simply tell you what you want to hear. It's about finding individuals who can challenge you, encourage you, and help push you toward the person you want to become. When you are on the path to success, you need people who will hold you accountable, who will push you to think bigger, and who will be there for you when things get tough. Start by surrounding yourself with people who have qualities you admire. Look for people who are ambitious, who have a growth mindset, who are constantly learning, and who are willing to put in the work to improve. You want people in your circle who set high standards for themselves, because that energy will rub off on you. When you are around people who are constantly striving for greatness, it becomes contagious. You'll start to push yourself harder because you see what's possible when you surround yourself with excellence. Next, it's crucial to find mentors and coaches who can guide you. A mentor is someone who has been where you want to go and can show you the way. They offer you advice based on their experiences and can help you avoid some of the mistakes they made along the way. A coach, on the other hand, helps you discover your own potential and pushes you to achieve your goals. Both of these roles are essential in your journey. Find someone who believes in you, even when you don't believe in yourself. These people will help you stay grounded, stay focused, and stay on track. Don't be afraid to ask for help, guidance, or advice. Successful people are often willing to give back by helping others. Learn from those who have gone before you. But remember, building a supportive network isn't a one-way street. It's not enough to just take from others. You also need to be someone who can contribute to the success of others. Think about how you can be a positive force in the lives of the people around you. Be the kind of friend, colleague, or partner that others can rely on. Offer help, share knowledge, and encourage others. The more you give, the more you will receive in return. When you help others achieve their goals, you create a bond of trust that will support you in your own pursuits. It's also important to have people in your network who bring different perspectives. The best teams and communities are made up of people who think differently. When you limit yourself to only one perspective, you're limiting your growth. A diverse network will help you see challenges from new angles, offer creative solutions, and give you a well-rounded approach to problem solving. So don't be afraid to seek out people who have different experiences and viewpoints than you. They will teach you just as much, if not more, than people who think like you. Another key to building a strong support system is communication. It's not enough to simply know people, you have to build real relationships with them. This means taking the time to listen to others, understanding their needs, and offering your support when they need it. When people feel heard and valued, they are much more likely to offer their support when you need it most. If you want a network that will truly help you succeed, you need to be intentional about building those relationships. This takes effort and time, but it's worth it. However, not all relationships will be beneficial to your growth. You have to be able to identify the people who are not serving your best interests and, when necessary, let go of toxic relationships. This can be difficult, especially when the person is someone you've known for a long time. But remember, your time and energy are precious. If someone is holding you back or draining your energy, it's okay to distance yourself. It doesn't mean you don't care about them, it just means you are protecting your own well-being and your future. You cannot afford to have people in your life who consistently bring negativity, doubt, or drama. Make space for people who support your dreams and believe in your potential. As you work on building your network, also remember that success is not just about who you know, but also about who knows you. Make sure to put yourself out there. Attend events, join communities, and actively connect with others. Networking is not just about collecting business cards or adding contacts to your LinkedIn profile. It's about making meaningful connections that can lead to new opportunities, collaborations, and support systems. Be proactive in nurturing relationships, and don't wait for opportunities to come to you. Go out and create them. Finally, don't underestimate the power of a support network during tough times. No matter how successful you become, life will throw challenges your way. Having a group of people who have your back during these times can make all the difference. Whether it's a friend who listens to you vent or a mentor who offers advice when you're feeling lost, a strong network can be a source of strength when you need it most. In those moments, you will be grateful for the people who have been there for you, who have invested in your growth, and who are cheering for your success. So remember this: building a supportive network is not just about finding people who will help you climb the ladder of success. It's about surrounding yourself with a community that will challenge you, encourage you, and stand by you through every step of your journey. The right people will push you to be better, inspire you to aim higher, and celebrate with you when you achieve your goals. Start today by investing in the relationships that will help you become the best version of yourself. And watch how those connections open up new opportunities and lead you toward greater success. Number 8, learn from mistakes. One of the most powerful things you can do in your journey toward success is to learn from your mistakes. We've all made them, and if we're honest, we probably will again. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they respond to failure. It's not about avoiding mistakes. It's about how you handle them when they happen and what you take away from them. First, let's get one thing straight: mistakes aren't the enemy. Mistakes are part of the process. They are inevitable, and in fact, they're often the greatest teachers. When we fail, we're given the opportunity to learn. Every mistake you make teaches you something valuable. Every misstep can help you understand what didn't work, why it didn't work, and how to make a better choice next time. Instead of viewing mistakes as setbacks, think of them as stepping stones. Each one brings you closer to where you need to be. Now, the key to learning from your mistakes is to not let them define you. It's easy to let failure take hold of your confidence and stop you in your tracks. But if you let a mistake define you, you'll never move forward. You have to accept that making mistakes is a normal part of life. What's important is how you choose to react. When you make a mistake, don't be hard on yourself. Instead, step back, reflect, and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What did this teach me? How can I improve the next time around? It's easy to get caught up in the emotional weight of a mistake. You might feel embarrassed, frustrated, or defeated. But let's talk about the power of perspective. When you make a mistake, instead of getting stuck in the negative feelings, reframe the situation. Think about the lessons you're learning. It's easy to focus on what went wrong, but when you do that, you miss out on the opportunity to see what went right. Even in failure, there are successes. Maybe you learned something new about your process. Maybe you discovered a weakness that you can improve on, or maybe you gained the resilience to keep going despite the setback. Mistakes are also an incredible opportunity to become self-aware. When something doesn't go as planned, it's a chance for you to reflect on what you could have done differently. This is the time to ask yourself the tough questions. Did I make a hasty decision? Was I too focused on the wrong things? Did I let my emotions drive my actions? The more you can identify the root causes of your mistakes, the better prepared you'll be to avoid them in the future. This level of introspection is not easy, but it's critical to your growth. One of the most important aspects of learning from mistakes is taking responsibility for them. When something goes wrong, it's tempting to point fingers or make excuses. But here's the truth: blaming others or the circumstances around you only keeps you stuck. Taking ownership of your mistakes gives you the power to fix them. When you own up to your mistakes, you stop feeling like a victim and start feeling like someone in control of their destiny. This is when the real growth happens. You begin to understand that your mistakes aren't things that happen to you. They're things that you can learn from and use to improve yourself. In addition to self-reflection, there's also the importance of asking for feedback. Sometimes it's hard to see where we went wrong on our own. That's why getting an outside perspective is so valuable. When you ask someone for feedback, you open yourself up to different viewpoints. And this can help you see things you might have missed. Don't be afraid to ask people who are experienced or have been through similar situations. They might offer advice that can help you avoid making the same mistake again. Constructive criticism is a gift, even if it's hard to hear at first. If you can learn to accept it with an open mind, you'll grow much faster. But don't let your mistakes stop you from moving forward. There's a saying, fail forward. This means that you take the lessons from your failure and use them to fuel your next move. Success doesn't come from never failing, it comes from failing, learning, and trying again. If you let a mistake hold you back, you'll never achieve your goals. The key is to keep going, even when you've made a mistake. Each time you pick yourself up and try again, you build resilience. Every time you dust yourself off and keep pushing forward, you become stronger. Another key to learning from your mistakes is forgiveness, specifically forgiving yourself. Too many people get stuck in regret, which keeps them from moving forward. They hold on to their mistakes, punishing themselves for something that's already in the past. If you're serious about learning and growing, you need to let go of that guilt. It's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to forgive yourself. You cannot change the past, but you can change the future. Don't let one mistake define you. Instead, use it as a stepping stone to grow and improve. Understand that mistakes are a sign that you're trying. If you're making mistakes, it means you're taking risks, you're putting yourself out there, and you're challenging yourself. People who never make mistakes are often the ones who are too afraid to take action. They stay in their comfort zones, avoiding failure at all costs. But nothing great ever came from staying comfortable. Growth comes from stepping into the unknown, making mistakes, learning from them, and becoming better because of them. So the next time you make a mistake, don't run from it. Don't let it define you. Embrace it as part of your journey. Reflect on what you can learn, take responsibility, ask for feedback, and move forward with confidence. Remember, success isn't about avoiding mistakes, it's about learning from them and using them to get closer to your goals. Embrace your mistakes because they are the key to your success. They're the stepping stones that will take you where you want to go. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep moving forward. Number 9, stay consistent and keep moving forward. When it comes to success, consistency is one of the most important factors you can focus on. It's easy to get excited about a new goal or project, but what separates those who succeed from those who don't is their ability to stay consistent no matter what obstacles come their way. You've probably heard the phrase, success is a journey, not a destination. Well, consistency is the vehicle that takes you on that journey. Without it, no matter how strong your goals are, how great your ideas may be, or how much talent you have, you're unlikely to achieve lasting success. The truth is, consistency isn't about doing something perfectly or doing it every single minute of the day. It's about showing up every day, doing the work, and doing it to the best of your ability, even when you don't feel like it. It's about establishing habits that keep you moving forward, even when progress feels slow, even when things get tough. There's a reason why the most successful people in the world all emphasize the importance of consistency. It's because it's a key part of the process. Think about it for a second. When you consistently put in the effort, you build momentum. Momentum is like a snowball. It starts small. Maybe even almost unnoticeable at first, but with time it grows bigger and bigger. When you're consistent with your actions, no matter how small they seem at first, you build momentum that leads to bigger results. That's the magic of consistency. It compounds over time. This is where most people go wrong. They give up too early because they don't see immediate results. They're looking for instant gratification. And when it doesn't come, they lose motivation and quit. But success doesn't work that way. It's not about the quick wins, it's about the long game. It's about showing up day in and day out and doing the work even when it feels like nothing is happening. If you can keep going when things get tough, when you don't feel like it, that's when the magic happens. Now let's talk about the power of small, consistent actions. Most of us tend to focus on the big picture, which is great, but it can also be overwhelming. When you're focused on a massive goal, it can be hard to know where to start. But the key is to break that big goal into smaller, more manageable steps. Every small action you take, every task you complete, adds up over time. Little by little, you're moving closer to your goal, even if it doesn't always feel like it. It's like building a house. You don't build it all at once, you lay one brick at a time. Each brick, no matter how small, is part of the foundation of your success. But consistency doesn't just apply to your actions. It's also about being consistent with your mindset. Your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions shape your results. If you're not consistent with the way you think, it will be much harder to stay consistent with your actions. That's why it's so important to develop a positive, growth-oriented mindset that supports your goals. A mindset that tells you, I will keep going no matter what. When you consistently think in a way that supports your goals, you're more likely to take the consistent actions needed to achieve them. One of the most important things to remember about consistency is that it doesn't always feel glamorous. It's not about showing off or doing something flashy. Consistency is often quiet and unnoticed, but that's exactly what makes it so powerful. The world may not see the little things you're doing every day, but they are adding up, and eventually the results will speak for themselves. It's not about seeking attention or praise for every little task you complete. It's about doing the work even when no one is watching. Consistency also helps build discipline. When you show up day after day, you're training yourself to stay committed, even when things get difficult. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to go. It's about sticking to your plan, even when distractions try to pull you away, and even when your motivation isn't at its peak. Discipline keeps you focused and on track. It tells you, even when you don't feel like it, you have to keep going. And the more disciplined you are, the easier it becomes to stay consistent, because it becomes part of who you are. But let's face it, staying consistent can be challenging. Life has a way of throwing curveballs at us. There will be days when you're exhausted, when you feel overwhelmed, when you wonder if it's even worth it. During those moments, it's essential to remember why you started in the first place. It's important to reconnect with your why. Why do you want to succeed? What is driving you? When you remind yourself of your deeper purpose, it helps reignite your motivation and gives you the strength to push through difficult days. Also, Don't expect perfection. Perfectionism can often be the enemy of consistency. If you're constantly trying to make everything perfect, you're going to burn out. You have to accept that sometimes good enough is just that, good enough. Perfection isn't the goal. Progress is. As long as you're moving forward, you're on the right track. Consistency doesn't mean you'll never make mistakes or face setbacks. It just means that you keep going, even in the face of them. Another key point is accountability. When you're trying to stay consistent, it's incredibly helpful to have someone hold you accountable. Whether that's a friend, a mentor, or even a coach, having someone who checks in on you and encourages you can make a world of difference. It's hard to stay consistent on your own, but when you have someone in your corner, it pushes you to show up even when you don't feel like it. It's also important to remember that consistency doesn't mean doing the same thing over and over in the same way. Life is always changing, and sometimes your approach needs to change too. Consistency is about sticking to your overall vision, but being flexible in how you get there. If something isn't working, don't be afraid to try a new approach. The key is to remain committed to your goals. Even when the path forward isn't always clear, celebrate your consistency. Acknowledge the small wins and recognize the effort you've put in, even if the results aren't as immediate as you'd like. It's easy to get discouraged when you don't see fast results, but remember that every day you're consistent is a victory in itself. Every day that you continue to put in the work is a step closer to where you want to be. Celebrate those small moments of progress because they matter. So let me leave you with this: success is not about one big leap. It's about consistent effort over time. The more consistent you are, the more momentum you build, and the more likely you are to succeed. Stay disciplined, stay committed, and trust the process. Success is not an overnight achievement. It's a journey made up of many small, consistent steps. Keep moving forward. Keep showing up. Keep doing the work. And remember, every step you take brings you closer to your goal. Number 10, celebrate the rebuild. When you're in the process of rebuilding yourself for success, it's important to not only focus on the journey, but also to take the time to celebrate the progress you've made. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle, in the drive to reach your next goal. But I want you to understand something very clearly: celebrating your wins, big or small, is an essential part of this process. It's something that many people overlook because they're too focused on the future or the next challenge. But I promise you, taking a moment to celebrate your growth and achievements is powerful. Too many people are constantly chasing the next milestone, thinking that happiness and success are just a destination that they'll reach someday, but that someday never truly comes. Because once you achieve one goal, another one quickly replaces it. It's a never-ending cycle if you don't take the time to pause and acknowledge where you are and how far you've come. Celebrating the rebuild is what fuels the next step. It reminds you that you're on the right path. It keeps you motivated, helps you stay grounded, and gives you the strength to keep pushing forward. When you reach a milestone, no matter how big or small, it's important to take a breath and appreciate it. It's easy to overlook the little victories, but each one is a stepping stone that gets you closer to your bigger vision. Did you take consistent action towards your goal for a week, a month, or even a year? That's worth celebrating. Did you face setbacks but keep going anyway? That's worth celebrating. Did you learn something new, improve your mindset, or make a connection that could change your life? That's worth celebrating. These moments, no matter how simple they may seem, are part of the process, and they deserve recognition. I want you to understand that celebration doesn't mean throwing a huge party every time you accomplish something. It doesn't have to be extravagant or public. It can be as simple as taking a moment to reflect, giving yourself a little credit, or treating yourself to something that makes you feel good. It's about honoring your effort, recognizing the work you've put in, and acknowledging the person you're becoming through this process. It's about reminding yourself that success isn't just about the end result. It's about the growth that happens along the way. And when I say celebrate, I'm also talking about celebrating the process itself, not just the outcome. You've probably heard the phrase, it's about the journey, not the destination. Well, this is where that saying rings true. Often we focus so much on what's ahead, what we don't have yet, or what we're still working towards, that we forget to celebrate the fact that we are making progress every single day. Your daily actions matter. Your consistency matters. The effort you're putting in right now is shaping the future you're creating. When you celebrate the work, you're giving yourself the encouragement to keep going. It's also important to celebrate the mindset shifts that come with rebuilding yourself. If you've made a decision to become a better version of yourself, to pursue a goal, to commit to self-growth, that's huge. Changing your mindset, pushing through challenges, and embracing a new way of thinking can be one of the most difficult parts of the process. And yet, so often we just move on to the next thing without taking a moment to appreciate that shift. If you've changed your attitude, your perspective, or your outlook on life, that's worth celebrating. It's a sign of progress, and it's a sign of strength. So what does this look like in action? It's different for everyone, but the key is to make it meaningful to you. Maybe you set small goals for yourself and reward yourself when you achieve them. Maybe it's something as simple as journaling about your wins at the end of the week, or sharing them with a friend or mentor who can cheer you on. It could be taking a day off to relax and recharge, or treating yourself to something you've wanted for a while. The celebration doesn't have to be elaborate, it just has to be something that reinforces the importance of what you've achieved so far. Remember, you are your own biggest cheerleader. But celebrating isn't just about making yourself feel good, it's also about reinforcing positive behaviors. When you celebrate the steps you're taking towards your success, you're signaling to yourself that this is the kind of behavior you want to continue. It's a way of conditioning your mind to see progress as something valuable and worth repeating. Every time you celebrate, you're reinforcing the idea that your effort, your commitment, and your persistence matter. This helps build momentum, making it easier for you to stay on track and stay motivated, even when challenges arise. Another important part of celebrating the rebuild is recognizing that you are your own biggest asset. You're the one putting in the work. You're the one doing the heavy lifting. And because of that, you deserve to acknowledge your growth. No one else can walk this path for you, and no one else knows the struggles you faced or the effort you've put in. So take pride in what you've accomplished. Don't wait for others to recognize your growth, recognize it for yourself first. You've earned it. In addition to celebrating your individual progress, don't forget to celebrate the people around you who are supporting you along the way. Success is rarely a solo journey. Whether it's family, friends, mentors, or colleagues, the people who encourage you, hold you accountable, and cheer you on play a vital role in your success. So take a moment to appreciate them as well. Let them know that their support means something to you and that it's a big part of what keeps you going. When you celebrate with those around you, it creates a sense of community and belonging, and it reinforces the idea that success is a shared journey. When you celebrate, do so with gratitude. Gratitude is the key that unlocks more success. When you are grateful for the progress you've made and the people who've helped you along the way, you open yourself up to more opportunities, more growth, and more success. Celebrate what you have, what you've accomplished, and who you've become. And from that place of gratitude, you'll continue to rebuild yourself for even greater success. So as you go on this journey, remember that the rebuild isn't just about reaching the destination. It's about enjoying the process, appreciating the growth, and celebrating every step forward. No matter how small, take pride in your achievements. Honor your efforts, and most importantly, keep building on your success. Every celebration is another layer of strength, and it's the foundation for even greater things to come. Celebrate the rebuild, because you're creating something incredible.